Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use DayZ Editor to pose NPC characters and zombies, so you can make screenshots that can be the basis of pretty cool thumbnails for YouTube or Twitter or I guess Facebook, things like that. So so your NPCs, maybe this one could be, we had a rest on the northeast airfield. I've tried to leave a bit of space for text. Wild punch up. Shooting zombies with my M4, or I am the best. Okay, you'll know when you have you'll do a video you've got an idea for, and you'll probably have an idea in your head what the screenshot will look like, and I'm going to show you kind of how to do that. So here we are in the DayZ editor, and really this video is really aimed at people who know some basics about the DayZ editor. You know how to place objects and things like that. Now, before we get started, I have to say that this process can be a little bit buggy and can be a little bit frustrating, because even if you save as you go along, what the editor doesn't save is the poses that you're going to put your NPC characters and your zombies into. So if it crashes or you lose it or something like that, you will lose all the poses, and they're the things that take the time to do. So make sure as you're going through that, as you're creating your scene, you take plenty of screenshots as you're going along, so that if you do lose everything, it won't take you for, you've still got something to fall back on. So you can do things like this. We've got this character doing that, doing the timeout sign, holding the hand, characters lying down. I've posed these two so that they're having a fight, obviously done separately. This guy's shooting his gun, and here we've got some zombies running towards him. So as you can kind of see, they're all frozen in time. And the way that we do this is, I'm pressing Y to flick between having the menus up and stuff, is we place a character onto the scene that we want to create. We add to their inventory. We can then control them, and then we freeze them in place when they're doing what we want them to do. And we can also get them to pose using the editor as well, but that can be a bit buggy. As far as the zombies go, what we do is we place them into the scene. We can't directly manipulate what they're doing, but what we can do is we can enable their simulation. So we get them to start working, and then we freeze them when they're in the pose that we want. So it's probably easy if I kind of show you. So so what you do is you look for a survivor, so SURV, and all the survivors will come up, and let's just pick a survivor. Now drop them into the scene, and what you want to do straight away is go right click properties, and if they haven't appeared, they will then appear. Okay, and then if you move them around, they'll be on the surface, and then immediately go to control player. Right, this is very important, because if you don't do that, there's a chance that you're going to control one of the previous characters that you've already posed, and you're going to lose the work you've done. So we go straight to control player. So yeah, how normally when you press home in the DayZ editor, you appear as the chap with the sledgehammer, don't you, and the building stuff. But if you put an NPC, so we can now control this person. And what's really clever, if we press home to come out of him, and then get our cursor back by pressing space, go to his little blue box, or you can do it on the right hand side, and go right click edit inventory, we can now change what this fella is wearing. So on the left hand side you've got all the different options, and so let's give him a blue baseball cap, let's give him a hunting bag, let's give him, what should we give him? A nice paramedic jacket. There we go. Keep warm. Trousers. How about some US Marine Corps pants? Let's give him some gloves. Leather gloves back. Oh, he's put them. Okay, so he's put them into his. All right, because that's stuff that you're holding in your hand. Yeah, sorry, you've got to go to. In fact, we'll put them on in a sec. And what we can then do is, if we go to his shoulder, you can then put a weapon on him. It could be an axe or something like that. But let's say we want to put a gun in his hand. So let's say we go to something like the AK-74. On the right-hand side, what appears is the accessories for the AK-74. So let's put a wooden handguard on it. Let's put the 30-round mag in it. Let's put a wooden buttstock on it. Let's put the AK bayonet on it, and let's put a Cobra optic on it. So they're all on it now. So if we now exit, now we're now controlling him. Now, again, this can be a little bit buggy, but if you now press tab to go into the inventory, you can kind of control him like you would in the game. You can't do this all the time. It's normally when you first start doing him. So now we can control him like he's in the game. We can do all the poses that we want to do. You know, sort of things like that. And then all we simply do is when he's in the pose we want, we press the home button to come out of control of him. Like that. And then straight away he's frozen in time. So hopefully you should then see, oh, right, okay, so that's pretty cool. And what we can do now is, well, if we press spacebar, we can sort of move him around as well if we wanted to. Like so. And pose him exactly how we wanted to. So you can see, if we were building a scene, like you could move him over here. We can put him down there. You know, and then we could come around behind these two guys. Press Y. And then we've got, you know, the start of an interesting scene. These two guys shooting at these zombies. How cool is that? Now, let's bring another character. Let's do some kind of emoting so you can see how that works. So if we now bring in, let's just choose Peter. Let's get Peter in. Again, right-click property so he appears. And right-click control player. So we control him straight away. So we've abandoned control of this guy now. So he's not going to move. So in order to make him emote, and remember, we go in the inventory, we could add stuff to him. What we could do is if we press the, you can use the F keys, but if you press the full stop on your keyboard, you can then do all your emotes, can't you? And then if you press home to come out of control of him, he's then controllable, like so. So we can then freeze him in place, which is pretty cool. Now let's go back and let's control him again. Now if you get stuck in a pose, generally if you make him jump, he'll come out of it. However, we can also control him with the editor as well. Again, this can be a bit buggy. So Y to bring up the menus, and then we can go right click properties on him, and there. Yeah. See, this is a classic example of where the editor kind of got a little bit stuck because I looked at the properties before and didn't come out of it. So let's come out of controlling him with the home. Right, so we're not controlling him anymore. So hopefully now we can right click properties, and then if you move the box so you can see it, we've got all these animations here. So it says animation. You can scroll down and you can do stuff. Now the thing to watch out for is if your character is holding a weapon or something in their hands, that will often block them from doing lots of the emotes. But what we could do is we could do, say we do the lying down. So we click on lying down, and if we scroll down, you see there's a bit that says enable simulation. Now if that's ticked, the character should then do what you've told them to do. Let's see if he does it. Let's untick, run, let's retick it. You gonna do it? No. Okay, so let's go into him. Let's make sure he's alright, so he's all freed up. So let's come out of controlling him. Let's have another go. So right click properties. In fact, I'm just going to unclick enable simulation first. Let's move him around a bit. Properties. Okay, so ID emote lying down. Let's click run. Let's click enable simulation. Right, there he goes. Now he's going to lie down. Then we unclick enable simulation, and that will then freeze him in place. Otherwise, he'll complete the simulation, and you know, sometimes with emote he'll stop doing it. So there we go. So hopefully there you can see how we've taken an NPC, we've loaded them in, we've controlled them ourselves, and then we can either use, you know, just the physical actions of moving them around and then coming out of control by pressing home, or we can press the dots, you know, to bring up the radial menu to do an emote, or you can use the editor menu to put them into a pose. But again, just remember, if they are holding things in their hands, that can kind of get in the way of stuff. So zombies next. Let's see how we can get these zombies. So let's say we want to add another zombie to this scene. How do we do that? Well, what you got to do if we come over here, and we do ZMB. So these are all the zombies. So you pick the zombie you want, and you drag him in. Where is he? Come on. Why isn't he appearing? Okay, that's why. There we go. Okay, so we got our zombie to come in. He's up in the air though, so we align him with the service. Now you can edit his inventory and add like a backpack to him. Sometimes you can add a coat to him or something. I'm not going to, because sometimes it can be a bit buggy and crash, and I don't want to have to do this video again. But we can right click, align him to the surface, move him around. So what we want to do now is we want him to have an angry look on his face, don't we? We want him to be chasing these other people. And all you've got to do is you right click him, you go to the properties, and then all we do is we click enable simulation, and we just watch what he does until he has the pose we want him to, and then we unclick enable simulation. See how he froze in place there? So let's tick it again, get him doing what he did, get him running. Right, so he's running now. So we're happy with that. So we now press OK. We can come out of that, and there he is. He's frozen. Doesn't look very happy, does he? In place. And at this point, we can then drag him around, spin him around. You know, we can put him exactly where we want to put him in the scene. And you control them just like you would control any object in DayZ Editor. So we can bring him down into the ground, hold shift to do a fine adjustment. And then we can press Y, close everything down, and then we can, just like a cinematographer would, or a photographer would, we can choose what is the best angle we want to take our screenshot, which would then be the basis for our YouTube or Facebook thumbnail. So there we go. Hopefully you found that video useful. I think this is incredibly powerful, and tell you what, it's even made me consider doing some thumbnails from what, because, you know, my videos basically I always just have the kind of the box art for the game, and then to the right of that I just have the title of the video. But I might do some other ones, because I think this is so much fun being able to do this stuff. Anyway, what do you think? Have you got any hints and tips for doing a similar sort of thing? If you have, please put them in the comment section below the video. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.